Hello, everyone at Pandamonium Publishing House. Thank you so much for joining us tonight as we talk live in conversation with the one and only author, Tonya Cartmell. Look at her stunning background. Thank you so much for joining us, Tonya.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to talk to you
Yeah,
and
you
everyone
too.
else.
Yeah, awesome. So I was just saying to Tonya that her background looks amazing and asking if she's ready decorated for Christmas. And you said you did the outside, right?
Yes. Yeah, we've
Awesome.
done most of the outside and a little bit on the inside. We do have our tree up. That is not my tree in the background and behind me in the picture here.
Oh, that's awesome. Excellent. So we're so excited that you're here and we really want to kind of pick your brain about a few things. So Tanya has a bunch of books out right now and we're going to talk about those, but you can head over to pandemoniumpublishing.com and check out her books on our book listing or on our shop where you can find everything that she's written and all of our other titles as well. So, you set a goal for yourself to be a published author. I think it was on your 50th birthday, right? Or like the year that you turned 50?
Yes, it was. Yep. The year
Okay,
I turned 50 was the year I decided it was time to do it or just give up.
awesome. Well, I'm glad that you didn't give up. That's for sure. Can you talk about why goal setting matters as an author even after publication? And what new goals have you set, if any?
So for me, I found setting the goal really mattered because hoping and wishing does not make your dreams come true. You really have to do the work yourself. Nobody can do it for you. So if you want to do it, you have to do it yourself. When I turned 50, like I said, I decided that that was the year I was going to do it. If I was going to do it, that would be when I did it. So I had, as a child, written a little book when I was like a little kid. Somewhere it's in a box, somewhere probably in the attic. I had done one in high school for an English assignment, and I did one in university for my maternal child rotation, but nothing ever that was going to get published. So yeah, I just worked at it and did it. I
Awesome.
think, and I think it's important in all aspects of life, even to set goals, not necessarily just in regards to writing. After I got the contract for 12 Days of Rescue, then my goal became, okay, now what am I going to do next? So starting to work on finding another book to work on. So that was my second goal. And then my dog is joining me here. Once 12 Days of Rescue came out, then it became switching my goal to marketing and promoting it and selling it, that type of stuff.
Listen, have I told you that you're my favorite? And to all the other authors watching, that I never said that. No, honestly, marketing is huge. You know the benefits of that, and you just go all out. And I appreciate that. And I love that you get what you work for, not what you wish for, right? And everybody listening to me right now is rolling their eyes because I say that all the time. So definitely awesome. I love your answers. And we're going to talk about your newest book. So, in Pa's Hockey Sweater, where did your inspiration for that book come from? This is like a bunch of questions, and I'll ask them one at a time. Okay.
Okay. So the inspiration came from watching my husband play with our grandson and seeing the two of them interact together. And Kian is only just over a year old now. So initially
Oh,
there wasn't a lot of playing, but just seeing the two of them together. And then the one day I was in our garage, and hanging on a hook in our garage was one of our son's hockey jerseys from when he was a little kid. And my husband's kept it all this time in case our son would like it for his kids,
aw.
once his kids are old enough to play hockey. So that got me thinking about how we pass things down, and we pass down our love of sports as well as memorabilia that we might have collected over the years.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, do you have a favorite hockey team, Tanya?
I myself do not. I
Okay.
enjoy watching hockey.
Uh-huh.
I grew up watching my dad in a hockey league. I did the time clock for the hockey league. So
Oh,
I do
awesome.
enjoy the sport. I enjoy the contact in the sport
Yes.
and and that. So I do like it, but no, I don't have a favorite team
What
myself.
about does your grandson have a favorite team yet? And I know he's still a baby, but is it possible that Pa will influence him?
Yes. um, he does not have a favorite hockey team yet, but Paul will influence him. He was actually over here on Thursday of last week. He was over here for dinner and was wearing his Toronto Maple Leaf onesie that had been a gift from Pa. And I
Okay.
know that's not one of your favorite teams,
Well,
but
listen, it's okay. We're gonna send you over some new stuff, okay? And yeah, we're gonna send over a whole bunch of new stuff for Kian, okay?
yeah.
But no, I love that. Sports are so important and they help kids with so many different things. Now, speaking of your book, Pa's Hockey Sweater, you touched on bullying. Why was this an important topic for you to write about?
I think because in today's age, I find bullying affects kids differently than it did when I was younger. I don't really remember a lot of bullying one when I was younger, but I find now it's not just between one or two people. With social media, bullying just becomes this great big thing and it spirals out of control. And the concept really is there that when you send something out, you can't take it back. A sorry may not necessarily fix what had happened, and children are really greatly affected by this, and it can follow them for quite a long time, which is sad. And sometimes there's really no, not that there's ever reason for bullying, but sometimes the reason behind it can be something so small that if they work together, it could have been resolved.
Definitely. And I love the message of that book, Pa's Hockey Sweater. I love the passing down of, an heirloom type of item, something that's so special. And just the dynamic between grandparents and grandchildren. I think that that's so wonderful. And you did such a great job with this. The illustrations look fantastic. Thank you, Alex Gubar, for that. And you sent us some photos of your own family to kind of incorporate into the book, which I thought was really cool too. So you can't write a book without leaving some of yourself behind, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love how Alex portrayed everyone in the book.
She nailed it pretty good because I saw
He
your
did.
family and I was like, wow, that looks just like them.
Yeah.
So we've got Pa's Hockey Sweater, we've got the 12 Days of Rescue. You've got almost 3 books under your belt, which we'll talk about in a second. But which one was the most challenging to write and why?
So I would say secondhand, which was the most challenging to write. One was the word count, bigger
Yes.
than anything I had written before. I'm learning now the editing process is more challenging than the two children's books. It's a learning curve, which is awesome. And there was also research. I actually, in order to be true to the witch aspect, the witch Wiccan aspect of the book, I wanted to learn about it. So that was really interesting. I had a lot of fun doing that. My two best friends tagged along with me for that, and we had a lot of fun. So, but it was a learning curve all around.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm really glad that you branched out into middle grade writing because it is more difficult to write, higher word counts and things like that. But I find that you have more time to explain yourself, which is a really good thing. So there's a benefit to that as well. But I feel like with the middle grade novels specifically in your book that's coming out, The Secondhand Witch, we're going to release that for March break. So that's going to be March 1. And why did you choose this specific age group? Did you go in thinking, you know what, I'm going to write a middle grade novel, or did you have a specific age group in mind? And is there a theme in your book that you want to convey to your readers?
So the age group for it is because of my niece Lucy, who the
Okay.
main character is named after. I'm People who know me know I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. My niece Lucy she's growing out of it a little bit now, but she was also a huge Harry Potter fan. And we had attended a festival a few years ago. And just seeing her there and the excitement on her when she was interacting with some of the characters that were at the festival, and that whole thought of magic and believing in magic. It was just so inspiring. So that's kind of where the idea came from in the age group. I wanted it to be for her. So something
Oh, we're just frozen here for 1 second. That's okay. So we're talking to author Tonya Cartmell, and you can get all of her books at pandamoniumpublishing.com/shop or check out our book listing. And we've got an internet connection that's a little bit unstable. Here we go. We're back. Sorry about that, Tonya.
Okay. So yeah, and then the themes in it are kind of family. Family is important. Family having fun together, laughing together, growing together, believing in yourself, and accepting the challenges that are presented to you, and being encouraged to face those challenges as well, being supported as you do those.
I love that, Tonya. Amazing. I can't wait for this book to launch. I've read it, obviously. It's fabulous. And the sketches that are going to be inside too are really fabulous. I have not shared those with you yet because I want it to kind of be a bit of a surprise. But let me tell you, they are pretty epic. Again, the one and only Alex Guvar. Okay.
So he knocked it out
Yeah.
of the park with the
She
cover. So
she did. The cover is amazing. We'll share that with a link in a little bit. So, talking about books, who is your favorite author and why? And which book is it? Do you think that that has influenced your writing and how so? I know that's like 15 questions thrown at you all at once. So, if I need to repeat them, that's okay.
So, being an avid reader, asking what is my favorite book and my favorite writer is kind of like, do you mean for which genre, which day, which mood? It's all kind of hard. So, I grew up reading a lot of Stephen King, Dean Koontz, those types of writers. So, I've always gravitated towards them. I'm also a big James Patterson fan, and the Janet Ivanovich series is my go-to when I want something light and fun to read. Um, I find probably my all-time favorite book was a book called Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas by James Patterson. And just because it's so heartfelt, deals with so many different emotions, you can laugh and cry all in the same book. So that was probably my favorite. And then of course the Harry Potter books I love as well. I find now that when I'm looking at something and I want to write something, I'll reference a book just to see, well, how did they write it? Especially when it comes to like punctuation around interacting dialogue between characters, just to kind of get an idea of how the flow should go, because I am new to it.
Well, you know what? You're doing a great job. Let me tell you that. That's for sure. And I know it's one of those things that we all have that learning curve. We all kind of go through that as authors. And I think that it's important to give yourself a little bit of slack and a little bit of room to learn and grow because things are changing all the time. And even the genres, not only that, but the way our English is being shaped with shorter types of words, abbreviations, slang, all of that kind of stuff. So it is one of those things that we keep up on and we just keep going and seeing where it takes us and what the new rules are. So there's a lot to learn. Absolutely. A great job. Um, let's talk about some collaborative works that you have coming up. Can you tell us about those?
I can. So I'm actually very excited about this one. This one just kind of fell in our laps since Friday. So it's brand new, still details being worked out, but with Therapeutic Pause and their chapter here in the Haldeman region. So close to my heart, your heart, Mara's heart, who's also involved as well, because it has to do with children reading to dogs in order to help boost their confidence. And kids may not be comfortable reading to other kids or in the classroom setting out loud, but they can sit with a dog and read to a dog. So I love it. I think that that's amazing.
It
And
is.
they have such a great idea for fundraising to help fund this program. So
Awesome. I'm so excited. And you're collaborating on a story with them, which I'm super excited about. And as soon as you came to me and said, listen, therapeutic pauses in Caledonia, they go into retirement homes, they go into schools, they go into all these initiatives in the community, and they bring their dogs to kind of put people at ease and that kids can read to them. I heard kids, dogs, books, and I was like, yep, whatever you want. Where do I send the check to? So it was one of those things that just, it is really close to our hearts. And we do absolutely love animals, literacy, and writing books that kids want to read. And you have written books that kids want to read. Let me tell you, everybody loves 12 Days of Rescue and Paws Hockey Sweater. So I think that people really kind of recognize you too, Tanya, because they've seen you in events in your community. And why is Caledonia so special to you other than just living there?
That's one of the great things about it is still that small town feel. So I really enjoy the sense of community that it has here, and everybody's very cheerful and friendly. So it's easy to get to know people. And then having two of my books in the library here is just amazing to actually know that they're being read in that. The one day I was in there, one of the workers there, Katrina, said, "Oh, your book just got returned right today." So it's nice to hear that they're going out as well. But yeah, it's the sense of community is probably my favorite thing about it. They do a lot in this community to promote happiness and
Yeah.
feeling.
And you know what? The other thing is too, is that with your book, 12 Days of Rescue, which has a picture of your own dog rescue in the back, you worked with Cannon's Cause as one of their fundraising efforts for the Christmas stocking. And that was really, really cool. So can you just tell us how you felt about that, of having your book as the main fundraising thing? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love Cannon's Cause. We learned about it when we moved to Caledonia and we're looking for a vet for our animals here. And we learned about Cannon's Cause through the Grand River Veterinarian Clinic that we go to. And our one cat, Dublin, who you may have heard meowing in the background here, she was actually a Cannon's Cause cat. And she was found in distress, needed emergency surgery, and wasn't doing very well. And we were able to adopt her once they stabilized her and had done her surgery. And it's been so great seeing her change over the last couple of years that we had her, from like the shy, timid thing that she was when we got her to the very vocal thing that she is right now, constantly demanding attention and that.
Oh, that's wonderful. So back to your library. Your books are in the library in Caledonia and Haldimand. I'm so excited for that. And they actually chose you as a woman role model. What was that experience like? And what do you want aspiring authors to know? But first of all, I want to tell you that I 100% agree with their decision. You are a wonderful person. You're a great author, and you just really are genuine, and people love you and your work. We all do. So that decision was an easy one for them. Absolutely. So talk about that.
Well, thank you. Um, I was actually really surprised when Katrina reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in this and if I would be willing to come in and do an interview for them. I don't think of myself as a role model. I always think that I'm sure there's more or better people out there that could do it. So I was really flattered and excited that they asked and that they thought that I was worthy of that. So thank you to them. That was great. In my video, and a lot of times when people ask me, the one thing that I do say that I think the biggest thing is the belief in yourself. The thing that held me back for years was just not believing that I could do it. And so I was my biggest barrier. So yeah, believe in yourself, surround yourself with people who believe in you. So don't have the negativity in your world, and you can do it.
Absolutely. That is excellent advice. And we have one more question for you. Do you have a favorite place to write? Where is that and why?
So my all-time favorite place to write is up in northern Quebec, and it's where I wrote most of Secondhand Witch. It's my parents and my aunt rent a cottage up there, and so we spend a lot of time up there in the summer. And my husband and I also have property up there on a lake. So it's around water. There's very, very little cell service, no TVs, so no real electronic distractions. I do a lot of reading and a lot of writing. So
Oh, that
it's
sounds like
just beautiful.
paradise. Awesome. Well, you can get Tanya's books, Pause Hockey Sweater, the 12 Days of Rescue at pandamoniumpublishing.com/shop, or go to our book listing on the main menu. And also, you can find our books on Amazon. You can find them at the library. We're going to do some signings in the new year with Indigo and Chapters and all of those great places. And you can get them all throughout the states. So Barnes & Noble in all 50 states. You can get them in Walmart in the US. And yeah, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so glad that you came to me with a story, because I can't imagine your books not being out there for people to read. And I think that you're such a great storyteller in terms of painting pictures for people in their mind, especially with your secondhand wit coming out in March. I forgot what month it was for a second. So thank you so much for joining us, Tonya. It's always nice to talk to you, and I hope that you have a really great rest of your week and a fabulous December, but I'll see you before that.
Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you and see you again.
You too,
Thank you.
Tonya. Thanks. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.